Welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle. In today's video, folks, we're going to be talking everything crypto. We're going to touch on some current news articles that are kind of floating around the web. We're going to be talking about Nervos Network. We're going to be talking about a possible NFT project that I'm going to be doing on Nervos, and we're going to go over the charts, things like that. So, with that said, folks, this was a headline that caught my attention because crypto crime jumps to $7 billion as cross-chain laundering surges. Wow, that sounds very scary, folks. $7 billion. There's a lot of projects out there that have market caps that are $7 billion. So this is a relatively small figure, but it's a scary looking headline. So what is this on-chain laundering? Well, it's basically people washing money over the blockchain. This is one of those things where it's not a wise thing if you're in the money laundering scheme to be washing money on a transparent ledger that anyone has access to. But this is a sure-proof way to send money long distances, and that's why people are laundering through crypto more than likely, is because they might be in Africa, they need to send some funds to the US, or vice versa. Now, I thought that this was kind of interesting because worldwide there is between 800 billion and $2 trillion laundered annually. The United States makes up at least 3 billion of that figure. So when you start looking at crypto crime jumps to 7 billion, keep in mind, this is a worldwide number. It's just, the articles like this just hold no weight, and dailycoin.com, never heard of them. This I thought was cool, and this is showing us that the Bitcoin miners are having a little bit more confidence in the market. Bitcoin hash rate hits another all-time high as miners continue to back Bitcoin. The Bitcoin 7-day hash rate hits new all-time highs despite struggling price. And we'll get into the prices in just a second. What does this mean? Well, when you get increased hash rate, it means that miners are coming back on the network to maybe mine. Maybe their miners are profitable at 28,000, but not at 26,000. You guys get the drift. So to see this kind of confidence kind of trickle into the market is a very good thing. Now, I wanted to kind of talk about this AMA that's coming up, and we have Matt Quinn and Jordan Mack. So follow these two guys on Twitter, but they're going to be doing an AMA on the subreddit cryptocurrency. And there is millions and millions of people in that subreddit. So this could really provide some traction and help get the name of Nervos Network and CKB out there. So this is great. October 10th, so that's in 4 days from this video. Kind of playing off this whole NFT thing here. This is what I'm thinking. So I love to create Wojak videos, folks. And if you haven't checked this out, I'll have this at my end screen. But when you make a video like this, there is tons of scenes that you have to create. There are tons of characters and things like that that need to be created all in Photoshop. So I think what I'm going to go ahead here and start doing is I'm going to explore NFT Nation, and what I'm going to do is launch some NFTs based on the creations that I make in this video. For example, you might be able to buy Zoomer drinking a beer in this shot, or Skanquisha for that matter. So I'm going to talk to the folks over at NFT Nation and get more familiar with them. But folks, Nervos Network has a booming little NFT marketplace. So this is great to see. But check out Nervos Nation. They have a banging Telegram group as well. There are 123 people online right now, but 1,700 members roughly. We're going to talk about the price tag of Nervos, because it's just been kind of chumming along here. So we're sitting at rank 203, and really we're sitting at 0.00279. In that last video, I was talking about that 0.0028-ish level, and really when it came down to it, that level was very important. So what I did here, let's just go to the weekly chart. This will be a lot easier to see and understand. So what I did here was threw up a Gone fan. So if you're wondering what all these rainbow colors are and all these trend lines, I'm not going to get into the Gone fan like fundamentals or anything like that. This is just not the video for it. What I wanted to show you guys was that when you create a Gone fan properly, you can really start to see price obey these trend lines. And for the case of CKB, folks, we can see on the weekly chart, price is interacting with these trend lines. And maybe I'm going to go ahead here and do this. Bear with me 1 second here. I'm going to clean up this background here quick. Maybe you guys will be able to see this better. Okay, so I don't know if that's going to help, but we'll switch back to the daily chart. And this basically will allow us to see all the interactions with trend lines. So even though I started this Gone fan March of 2021, we can see how it came down, interacted off this level here, came down, bounced, and interacted off this level here, came all the way up, it kind of fought with this level here, and you guys can just see how price reacts with all these different trend lines. It came down, tested this trend line. It's just an insane way to really kind of gauge where the prices and things like that are at. So when I'm looking at this, this is like a long-term thing that I'm looking at here, right? We're a long ways from these trend lines at this point, but I would like to see CKB, start increasing back up to, these penny levels. I'm just going to go ahead here and clear this chart. And really, when we look at the CKB chart, the one thing that I'm looking at, for this longer time frame scale, folks, is really this inverse head and shoulders. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this for those of you that watch this channel on a regular basis. We have something like this kind of picking up here. It just is what it is. But let's just look at this thing at a super high level. Currently on the daily chart, we are still above this Ichimoku cloud. Super bullish. We are testing the 50 moving average for support, as you guys can see. And I do think that if we can gain that support, we might have a chance to come up and really mingle with this 200 moving average, somewhere around that 0.0031-ish level. Folks, I just think that's a possibility. And getting back to this weekly chart, folks, we've got 2 green spinning tops. This is great to see because that means, especially like on these weekly charts, that the momentum is starting to kind of change a little bit. Whenever we see spinning tops and things like that, usually a good indication on these higher time frame charts. Spinning top, spinning top, spinning top. Here's another one. It's usually a good indication that we could be gearing up to see some things start lifting off. And really, Nervos Network, what has me most bullish in this case for CKB, is this really mega wide channel that we have on the weekly to move through. So really, I don't care what the price does until March 4th, as long as by March 4th, we can hold above this like 0.0044-ish level. And we've got 6 months to get there. Well, maybe 5. But that's the point. Like, we've got some time here. We've got these candles really setting up nicely. And I do think that we could possibly have this inverse head and shoulders that could take us to the upside. Right now on the weekly chart, folks, we've been underneath the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly since January of 2022. So, man, it'd be nice to see price get above this 0.0032-ish level, and that would be right on top of this 50 moving average. But that's probably going to be our next really hard line support or resistance for CKB. And if we can get above that and slingshot upwards, man, we'll be sitting pretty good. But let's just look at CKB here on the 4-hour chart. And you guys, this thing, you know, in one of the last videos I was doing, we were kind of talking about maybe there was this possibility that we could be seeing some sort of ascending triangle or something like that. And I do still think that could be the case, but it's just not as well defined. I mean, you can see how the lows are continually getting higher. And that's exactly what we want to see happen. With the exception of like right here, we came back down to test this support level. But you guys can kind of see slowly things are kind of looking on the up and up. But this has just been flatline trading really since June of 2023. So it would be nice to get out of this sideways consolidation. Let me know in the comments, folks, if you guys would buy any NFT from the whole Wojak series that I'm doing. I'm kind of trying to figure out what that would look like, what the purpose of holding an NFT would be. But, you know, the funnier the video, maybe the price goes up. I'm not sure, especially with how this security stuff is going down. I got to really iron this thought process out on it. But love you all, and we'll see you guys on the next video.